welcome back to Devils United. With me today, I've got Luca again. Luca, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm not too bad, and yeah, well, I'm good, man.
How are you feeling after yesterday, Luca?
Yeah, good, mate. Good, mate. After the alarm bells switched off yesterday in my hotel.
What we'll do before we go on to the games anyway, we will go through the comments. Group G we're on this time has got Switzerland, Cameroon, Brazil, and Serbia. So not bad teams.
We've got a lot of good potential teams to talk about, which is very good.
We could talk about the defensive midfielder in the world called Casemiro. We could talk about the best winger in the world, Antony. We could talk about the best box-to-box midfielder in the group called Fred. You know,
Why not?
there's
Why not,
me.
Mason? Why not? Let's talk about it. I'll give you my opinions on it.
There's me gassing up United players, but you know,
United.
let's go through the comments. Good evening, Niall. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. Good evening, Reese. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. Good evening. I like coffee. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. I like coffee's happy with the group. Let's go Brazil. So it looks like I like coffee's gone from Portugal to Brazil. Unless you support Portugal women.
I like coffee. You must like a lot of South American teams, then, if you're changing one team to a scenario.
Who knows? I like coffee can help tell us. Reed said Brazil to win the group on goal difference, Serbia to draw them 1-1. Interesting. Just me's in the chat. Hey there, just me. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Henry, hey there, Henry. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Love the catchy music. Ravi, hey there, Ravi. Hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Maisy shameless already. That's me. So you like him because of the players who's in it. Okay, I like coffee. I see what you mean. No flirting here going on. I like coffee. Just me. No flirting at all. We're just friends. So let's go on to the group. The games. We'll start with the first game. Switzerland versus Cameroon. Are you wanting to look at the squads for these?
Yeah, can we have a look at the squads for Switzerland versus Cameroon?
You know what? I will let you pick Switzerland or Cameroon first.
Cameroon. Let's do Cameroon. Let's do the hard part.
Let's have a see. Cameroon squad. Do you want to name the players so I don't name incorrectly?
Right, okay. So we've got, mate, apologise if I butcher it. So, Devis Epasi, Onana. Mate, I can't even pronounce the last name. So right, Simon and Nganga and Boo or something like that. Jean Charles Castelletto, Enzo Bozy, Collins Fye, Olivier Mbanzu, Nicholas Nkulu or something like that. Tolo, Christopher Wu, Frank Zamba Aguza, Samuel, I can't even say that, Samuel Guet or something, Martin Hongala, Pierre Kund, Jerome Ngome, Olivier Ncham, Gail Ndu, forward Vincent Abubakar, Christian Bassong or something like that, Choupo-Moting, I know who that is, Brian Mbumo or something like that, Nkambi, Mumi, I can't even pronounce this, Mumi Ngamalu, George's Kevin Nkundu, Pierre Insane, Maru Suwa, or something like that. Mate, I apologise, people in the chat, mate. I've butchered quite a lot of names.
I've butchered them all in the last so many groups. So I butchered them badly. I knew that I couldn't do it.
Ooh, the thing is, I knew I couldn't do it, and for me, people in the chat, I apologise that it's not been great. So we all learn mistakes.
What do you think of that Cameroon squad?
To me, I don't know half of those players.
I don't
Like
know any. I don't know one, and that's it.
Onana, of course, because he plays for Inter Milan. So Onana is a very good goalkeeper. I liked him at Ajax. Choupo-Moting, a very good goal scorer for Bayern. Like he's a very, very good Plan B striker. Didn't quite work out at PSG because you had like Neymar and Mbappe and that, so it's pretty much you weren't going to get into the team. But he's really developed from the French league, Mace, going into the Bundesliga. He's done very, very well, and I like his style of play. The way he moves, the way he actually has that technical ability to be that Plan B striker. He is pretty decent. He's not world class, but for me, he looks a very, very good Plan B, and I think he'd be good enough in the Premier League. Not sure about Arsenal, but however, I think he's good enough, and I think he could play like a lot of mid-table Premier League clubs, maybe even a top 10. And I actually think he's quite decent. The rest, I don't know any of them, to be honest. But
I know one player, and that's the Bayern player.
Yeah, you do. That defender then, Nicolas Nkulu, he played for God, was it in the French league? Was it in the French league?
I will get that for you.
I can't remember, but he played for somewhere, but I can't remember who.
We will find that out. Oh, I need to spell his name now. Let's see his career. 32 years old. He played for Monaco, Marseille, and Lyon.
I thought he played for Marseille.
He played for Torino as well.
Because I recognise him somewhere.
He's played for Watford too.
Centre back. He played for Watford?
He played for Watford and had 3 appearances.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So not much really to say about the Cameroon squad. Hey there as well to my queen. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Everyone's saluting you for the pronunciations because I would have done crap.
Yeah, but what I will say, I apologise if I butchered and all that. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm always butchering them. It's fine. Hey there, Miss Bellina. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. So we've done Cameroons. So now do you want to look at Switzerland?
Yeah, we've got to have a look at the best midfielder in the Premier League. Why not? The best, one of the best midfielders. Why not? Let's go and have a look. Granit Xhaka. No, I'm kidding. Xhaka is not the best midfielder, but he is one of the best this season. He's been brilliant. And yeah, let's have a look at the Switzerland squad. We've got Jan Sommer, very experienced goalkeeper. I like the goalkeeper. I think will be very good as a number 2 goalkeeper. I really like his characteristic. Of course, I'm spot on about Choupo-Moting.
Do you want to name all these players again, considering everyone praised you for your pronunciations? And I'll do the next 2.
Yeah, Jan Sommer, Jonas Omlin, Gregor Cabell, Philip Cohen, defenders, Edmilson Fernandez, Sylvain Weinberg, Nicola Evendi, Manuel Kanji from Manchester City, Renato Stefan, Ricardo Rodriguez, Fabian Schär, Ray Comer, Dennis Akara, Remo Frulula, of course, the main man, the best, Granit Xhaka, Jibble So, Mikel Biziel, something like that, Christian Fasniach, Fry, Shaqiri, Ryder, Ardan Ashari, Embolo, Harris Severovic, Ruben Vargas, and Noah Okafor. You know what, right? I actually think it's a pretty good Switzerland side because Switzerland, for me, were very impressive in European Championships because they knocked out France on penalties, right? And for me, they've got experience of Granit Xhaka. They've got Ricardo Rodriguez. No, excuse me. But anyway, Shaqiri, I'm surprised he's back in the squad. I'm surprised he's back in the squad because Shaqiri's got quite a lot of experience.
I'm sorry, Niall's comment. Niall's comment.
Jesus.
Oh,
No, anyway, Shaqiri, all jokes to the side, but no, Shaqiri for me, I'm surprised he's actually in the squad because I know I haven't really seen him that much, and I think he plays for in the French league. I'm not 100% sure, but Shaqiri for me, he was good in the Premier League, but for Liverpool, he did score like the odd goal.
he was
Got
more like a
goal.
bench player, wasn't he? He
You
was
know
one of
what?
them who would like come off
Where
the
does he
bench.
play now? Where does he play now? I can't really remember. Is it a French
He
league?
he plays in the MLS. He plays for
MLS.
Chicago Fire. 29 appearances, 7 goals.
That's not bad. That's not bad in the MLS. 7 goals and 29 appearances. That's pretty decent for an experienced player, right? So Switzerland have got very good players, and to me, people talk about Switzerland. What are they going to do in tournaments? No one expected them to knock out France in European Championships. I think Switzerland will get quarterfinals. I do because Switzerland are one of those teams where sometimes they're very difficult to beat, right? Like it's every time when England play maybe someone like a Switzerland in a qualifier or group, you think, you know what, Switzerland's the second best team. You're thinking, you know what, you're playing Switzerland. Switzerland got some experienced players in the team like Granit Xhaka, etc. You're thinking it's going to be a tough game, but you expect to win. But Switzerland, for me, I think they'll qualify. I think they'll get out of the group. I think they're going to get second. And but no, I do think Switzerland will get quarterfinals.
I actually
World
think
Cup
though
is
that Shakira. I actually do think the Switzerland side, it is a very underrated side. This is the side that knocked out France in penalties. You like imagine if you went and put that bet on paper.
No, you would exactly because for me, if someone put that on the bet, people would have people would have laughed at you, and that's it. People would have, like if someone did that, I would have bite someone's hand off and said that because for me, you expected France to qualify. No one expected that game to go penalties, right? And it was quite a good game, I believe, and for me, like Switzerland are one of those teams where they can surprise you.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll obviously go into the squads later on, but they've got a tough group. They've got a very tough group.
What they have. Like you've got Brazil in there. We all
Serbia
remember
is another.
we all remember Cameroon's Roger Miller. Remember him as well. Serbia for me, I've got some good players as well. We're going to have a look at the Serbia squad in a moment. So no, it's I think this group, right? People may say that Germany, Spain, and Costa Rica is the group of death, but I think this could be the second group of death because for me, you've got some very, very good players in there, right? So you've got Brazil, when we're going to touch on in a minute. You've got Switzerland, they've got the experience of Granit Xhaka, Shaqiri in that. Cameroon, of course, I don't know much of their players. But for me, you've got Serbia in there as well. Well, we're going to have a look at their squad in a minute. So you've got 3 teams that could qualify for the knockout stage. Look, for me, I think Brazil and Switzerland are going to go through. I don't think Serbia will go through.
Of course, we'll go into the tables later on. What are you going with for the score prediction? I've gone for 1-0 for Switzerland.
2-0 Switzerland.
2-0 Switzerland. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Risa said first Brazil 7 points, second Serbia 7 points, third Switzerland 4 points, Cameroon fourth with 1 point. Yeah, so we'll look into that, and we'll go on to the next game, Brazil versus Serbia. Which team do you want to look at first?
Can we have a look at Serbia's, please?
Time for me to chop my pronunciations. Oh dear.
Do you want me to take this one and you have Brazil?
Yes.
Okay. Butcher Part 2. Right. Marko Dimitrovic, Predrag Rajakovic, Vanja Mikovic-Savic, Stefan Mitrovic, Nikola Milikovic. Oh my God, I can't pronounce this one. Stralahinja Pavlovic, Milios Vejokovic, Filip Mladenovic, Strahinja Erakovic. I can't even pronounce this one, but I'll go by his surname. Babic, Nemanja Gudelj, Savic, of course, we know from Lazio, Sasa Lukic, Marko Granic, who played for Liverpool, Filip Kostic, Ross Rasid, Nemanja Makasimovic, Ivan Leach, Andrea Sikovic, Lazovic, Tadic, Mitrovic, Vlahovic, Jovic, Nemanja I can't even say it. Philip de Reach or something like that. Look, people, I nearly got every single name right. It was better than the previous one.
Well, let's just say you're an angel for doing this, because I would have been probably crying. I was there enough crying doing it. But for me, of course, minus Mitrovic, I'm not aware of a lot of these ones. I think I know the goalkeeper, Savic. Do you know another one who was like missing from back in the day, like Nemanja Matic?
Yeah, that's another player that's missing, because I don't really watch a lot of Italian football as I used to, right? And for me,
He's supposed to be doing well at Roma.
Well, I haven't seen them much play, so I don't really know. But for me, I'm quite frankly surprised and baffled that Matic is not in that squad. Yes, when he was at Manchester United, it was getting to a point where he was decent at United. He wasn't the Matic what he was, Maisy, when he was at Chelsea, when Chelsea won the title, right, in 2017. But Matic, for me, he does very well for Roma. But why is he not in that squad? He's got experience. He's playing in a World Cup. And for me, you've got to call experienced players. It's whether the Serbian manager probably doesn't want to call him up. Maybe he doesn't think he didn't have a good season. But for me, you've got to call someone like that that's got experience. Ivanovic don't play anymore. I get that because he's retired. But you've got Matic still plays. Why don't you not call him up?
I don't know, because the thing is with Matic, like, the guy's a rock. He's one of them, like, he's like that extra bit of player in the defence, but on the same time is that he's lost his legs compared to what he used to be.
Well, he has. And I know Nemanja Matic has lost his touch a little bit, and he has lost his legs, and he's not the player what he was at Chelsea and Manchester United. But at least have him a part of the squad. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
He's Swedish.
Yeah, but she wants me to pronounce it.
I like coffee's funner. Anything else you want to touch on with this group before we go on to the Brazil?
For me, when you look at that squad, right, I remember Ivanovic, Matic. We've seen some very good Serbian players, but they just don't seem to produce and do well. Like recently, to just get out. I don't think they'll get out the group, but they've got very good attackers. Vlahovic is going to be the first time I see him in playing in a major tournament. Mitrovic, was doing well at the start of the season for Fulham. Hasn't really been scoring quite recently for Fulham, but he had a good start to the season. Tadic.
It's been good. I think he's one of the top goal scorers, if I'm not mistaken.
He is Maisy, but recently he has not been scoring.
He's been injured though.
He has. And
He's pretty injury prone.
Luka Jovic is half decent, right? And he's a good player. So they've got a very good attack. And they've got Savic, who I like as well. So they've got very good players. Look, I'm not saying that they're crap or anything like that, but I don't think they're not better compared to Brazil and Switzerland. When you look at Switzerland's forwards compared to Serbia's, you have Serbia's strikers all day long. That's the thing, and that's where I think Brazil and Switzerland are going to get out of the group.
So let's go on to the next one then, Brazil. Also classed as one of the favourites to win the World Cup. So we'll look at theirs as well. I'll pronounce it to give Luca a bit of a break from pronouncing names. So
I'll get this right.
Yeah, Alisson, Edison, Weatherton in goal. Defence: Danilo, Dani Alvarez, Alessandro, Alice Telles, Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Militano, Bremer. Midfield: Casemiro, Fabinho, Bruno Guimaraes, Fred, Paqueta, Ribeiro. Forwards: Neymar, Vinny Jr., Gabriel Jesus, Antoine, Rafinha, Richarlison, Martinelli, Rodrigo, Pedro. I think it's a very strong squad. I really do. They've stacked up there in the midfield. They've stacked up there in defence. I think if you was looking at goalkeepers, they've got the best goalkeeper. They've got the best first goalkeeper and backup goalkeeper. I think their backup goalkeeper is Alisson and the main's Edison, which is fantastic. They've got one of the best. They've got a Rolls Royce there of Thiago Silva, whoever he's gonna partner with. Alex Telles has been supposed to be playing good for Seville, which is great. Midfield: Casemiro's rock. There's no doubt about that. He's going to be playing. Bruno Guimaraes getting called up. Him and Fred or him and Paqueta, or Fred and Paqueta, for instance, is a fantastic midfield three to have. And then look at the midfield. You got Neymar, great form. Vinny Jr., great form, just won the Champions League. Jesus, top of the league, doing well. Antony, he's averaging out 50% of his goals 50% of his games are goals this season. Yeah, you've got Richarlison. He's scored more in the Champions League than he is in the Premier League. Rafinha, he's not been too well. Martinelli's been brilliant as well.
Look, for me, right, when I look at that Brazil squad, right, this is why I think they'll win the World Cup. Because you look at that, yes, a South American team hasn't won a major tournament like that for 20 years, right? So I think Brazil will win it because you look at their squad, right? The only weakness I say is their defense.
Fullbacks.
But the thing is, you've got winners in there that have won trophies like Dani Alves. Quite frankly, calling up Dani Alves at 39 years old, fair play to them that they managed to call up an experienced player. Look, he's not quick anymore. He's not the Dani Alves what he was in 2008 at Seville. Thiago Silva, not really having a good season for Chelsea, but he's probably Chelsea's best defender.
Let's be honest. Would you be able to play well if you've got Koulibaly next year?
No, of course not.
Koulibaly is one of the most overrated centre backs in the league. And I'm not surprised Thiago Silva can't play well with this fraud next to him.
I'm quite baffled and shocked that Koulibaly's had a bad season. When Chelsea first signed him, I was jealous. I've
never rated the guy. There's nothing good about this guy.
Like when he was
he's
at Napoli,
slow.
Yeah, but I went to go and watch Arsenal and Napoli under Unai Emery's first season. Koulibaly was crap at the Emirates. Like we beat them, and of course we knocked them out. But the thing is, Koulibaly this season has been, quite frankly, just been poor. Like, him and Thiago Silva isn't really a good partnership. And this is why, getting back to Brazil, look at their midfield. You've got Casemiro, Gomes, Fred, Paqueta, Fabinho as well. You've got very, very good players. And the attacking looks very, very, very exciting to watch. Martinelli, what can I say about Martinelli? Right? People know about why I think Martinelli's good. I talk about it on my channel when I upload, right? Martinelli's been fantastic this season, right? And I'm hoping that he can stay at Arsenal. I hope he can sign a new deal. And Martinelli has been one of our best players. That's why he's got us into the top of the league this season at this moment of time. And Martinelli's work rate is fantastic, right? And a lot of clubs are going to look at him, right? When we first signed him, obviously I didn't know who he was. But you see, he was one of the best prospects in the Brazilian league,
Agreed.
right? And Martinelli was fantastic, mates. And Anthony for Manchester United, I think he's good, right? I still think he needs to settle a little bit more at Manchester United.
He's been injured though as well, so
yeah. And he did score against Arsenal. But Neymar, for me, I want to touch on Neymar, right? Neymar, for me, right, I still rate the guy, right? People might have their differences and say, oh, yeah, he's overrated, or he's a flop, he never turns up, all he does is whine and moan and bitch and all that stuff. No, I think Neymar is really good, right? Yes, he's not well talked about with like the Mbappes, the Messis and the Cristiano Ronaldos. But I think Neymar could be up there in the tournament. I really do. And for me, I've seen Brazil live before. And when Brazil don't have Neymar, before Richarlison, Jesus and Martinelli all came in the team, right? And they're still young. When Neymar came in the team, Neymar for me was their best player, Mace. And you take Neymar out of that team, Brazil nothing, right? But now they've got such a better, supreme squad, right?
He carried them for a long time.
Carried them through. And yes, Neymar's a bit injury prone. Yes, Neymar can be a bit cocky with his wages. But Neymar, for me, he brings something to the team. He's got experience. Whereas, talking about Gabriel Jesus, yes, Jesus hasn't scored in 10 games or 9 or 10 games. But what he's bringing into the team, he's bringing fight, he's bringing character, he's producing stuff. And that's the thing with Gabriel Jesus, and that's what I like about Jesus. Yeah, I am a bit annoyed that he's not getting the goals, but he's winning games for us. He's not
doing bad though. I think for me with Jesus at Arsenal, it's like he's that missing link, because even though he isn't getting the goals, he's doing the scruffy work that no one wanted to do at Arsenal.
That's the thing. And yes, he might not have anyone particularly decent that's going to link up with him, right? And that's something where I do think Arsenal need to look in the January transfer window. But Jesus, for me, it's one of those games. He's one of those games and one of those players where he'll just scruff it and just work hard. And that's what we like about Jesus, right? And I'm hoping, yes, he hasn't scored for about 10 games, Maisy. But the thing is, let's hope he can actually produce and contribute, that he's going to score goals for Brazil. He might not be a guaranteeing starter because Richarlison might get in the team. But if I was Brazil, I start Gabriel Jesus because Richarlison's been injured. He's not been on good form.
I don't rate Richarlison. Like, everyone thinks he's funny and stuff like that, but I don't rate him. There's nothing about this guy I rate whatsoever. I've never rated him. Even when he was at Everton, I don't rate him. He was just the best out of a crap bunch. And now at Spurs, he's the same again. He's semi-decent out of a crap bunch.
When they first signed him at Tottenham, Mace, right, I was a little bit cautious how Conte was going to get the best out of him, where you have Richarlison, Kane and Son. I actually thought that was going to be one of the best attacking three in the Prem. But since Richarlison, he gets these odd injuries, right? And for me, he's injury prone, right? Since he's been from Everton to Spurs. But Richarlison, exactly. He makes a very good point, Ravi. He was crap at Watford. And to be honest, Ravi, I actually forgot he played for them. But Richarlison, He's a bang average player, right? That's why when Arsenal were linked with him one time, right, before he went to Spurs, he didn't score a lot of goals. And Richarlison has to come in and bang the goals in, right? He might sometimes be good on his day, right? Players can be good on their day, whether you don't rate them or not. But I think Richarlison's overrated.
He's massively overrated. The only reason why people like him is because of his attitude. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
He's not good at anything else. Let's be real. Look at the other options that Spurs have. Lucas Moura. Is Lucas Moura really someone who could compete with Richarlison?
No, of course not. Richarlison's slightly better. Lucas Moura for me, right? Yeah, there was a moment in the Champions League. I think it was Ajax when Tottenham got to the final in the Champions League in 2019.
Oh yeah, it was the semi-finals.
Yes, and Moura may have scored a very crucial goal, right? But Lucas Moura's also been another flop. He had potential for Spurs, and then Spurs never used him. And this is the problem. This is the problem with people like Richarlison and that. They do well. People think they overhype him, and then he flops.
Exactly. What scoreline are you going to go for, Luca, for this game?
I'm looking forward to this game. Like two very good attacking teams. I really am impressive with Serbia's frontline attack. I'm going to go for Brazil to win 2-1 in this game. I think this is going to be a really good game. Like a lot of people might think Brazil are going to win 2 or 3-0. That's fair by them, but I think Brazil are going to win 2-1. I am actually really looking forward to this game when it comes.
I agree with you though. I do think that it is much tighter game than people think. I've gone for a Brazil win. I've gone for a 3-2 win for Brazil.
3-2.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's read some of the comments as well. Ravi asked who's the weakest player in the teams in this group. There's a lot I'm not really aware of, so I can't really say who's weak.
The weakest player for Brazil.
It means in the whole group.
Oh, in the whole group, Cameroon. It's got to be Cameroon.
Yeah,
surely.
it probably would be Cameroon, but I don't even know any of the players.
Cameroon, mate, Cameroon. I never watched them in the 90s. I wasn't even born in the early 90s. Right, I never exist. So for me, Cameroon is the weakest link. So that's why they're the weakest link in this group.
Hey there, Nippon. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in.
Welcome to the chat.
Ravi said, "Who are the best centre back in the group?" I would probably still have to go with Thiago Silva, even though, as we say, he's not been on the best of forms. Thiago Silva's a Rolls Royce. He's a leader in the back. I think he's absolutely terrific.
But he is. Thiago Silva brings a lot of character and a lot of experience in the team. You see it with him and David Luiz. Yes, Brazil got smashed 7-1 in 2014. But Thiago and David Luiz, when David Luiz played football, I think he's retired now. But David Luiz and Thiago, right? They had that 2014 World Cup. They had so much character, so much experience. They wanted to win. They wanted to show everything, passion, desire. The way they sang that national anthem, every single Brazil game, they showed that character, that characteristic. And for me, Thiago Silva isn't doing well because Chelsea don't have a proper centre back. They haven't replaced a proper. Look, Thiago Silva might be the John Terry, right? But they don't have like another John Terry alongside him. And this is why he's probably Brazil's best centre back. Yes, he's 38 years old. This is his last World Cup, right? And he wants to go there and win this competition. He wants to go out with a bang. He wants to end on a good high. So that's why with Thiago Silva, right, he's got to be their best centre back for the team. Because who can you really say? Look, Militao is decent for Real Madrid. He's good, right? But they don't have anyone else like back in the day when Brazil had like Cafu and that. Thiago Silva will be up there with the list because what he's won with club-wise, and yeah.
Good evening, Andrew. I hope you're
Yeah,
well.
Andrew
Thank you for
Williams.
coming in. Good evening to Doug. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Doug has gone for a 3-1 win for Brazil. To Andrew's question, is Mitchell fit? Yes, he should be fit for the game. And Ravi has asked what style of play will Brazil play. They usually play as a 4-3-3. They usually have Casemiro as a lone defensive midfielder, and Fabinho actually plays more as a box to box alongside Fred. But I think with Fabinho not being in good form, I think he'll be Fred and Bruno Gamaz.
Well, yeah, 100%, because Brazil are going to play Casemiro and Gomares in that midfield, and that's what I'm really excited to see. Players like that are going to play together, going to have a good style of play, right? Brazil have always had a really, really good style of play over the years, right? Think about the players they had in their midfield, right? Think about their attack like Ronaldinho and that, Roberto Carlos and Ronaldo as well, right? They had very, very good players back in the day, and Brazil always have that great connection and that great style to play.
Yeah, I agree. I like Coffee's going for a 2-2 draw, and Andrew's gone for a 3-0 for Brazil. So we'll go on to the next game now, Cameroon versus Serbia. I can only really see a Serbia win, if you agree.
For me, you have to go with Serbia, right? I think Serbia should win this game because Cameroon are not that great. Players like Samuel Eto'o back in the day, Alex Song, the Tottenham defender who played for them, I think it was Asuso Koto. But Serbia are going to win this game, right? They want to obviously have a point to prove to try and qualify and get into the knockout stage, Maisy. So, yes, their attack is good. Their midfield, like Savage, a very good midfielder, right? I don't know much about their defence and goalkeeper, but they've got a very good attack. They've got Mitrovic, they've got Vlahovic, Tadic experience. They've got very, very Luka Jovic. They've got a very good attack, and that's what I like about Serbia, right? I like Coffee. I don't think it'll be 4-0. I think that's a bit too much you just ask. I think Serbia are going to win 2-0 in this game.
I had the exact same scoreline.
No, I don't think they'll win 4-0.
I had the exact same scoreline as you, to be fairly honest. So, yeah, we'll both go for that 2-0. There was a mixture in the chat. Everyone had Serbia to win anyway. 3-0 for Serbia, 4-0 for Serbia as well. So, we'll go into the next game now, Brazil versus Switzerland. For me, it's going to probably be another 3 points for Brazil. I think Switzerland will probably give the best go, but I think that it'll be too much for Switzerland, depending, of course, on the squad what does come out for Brazil.
You never know, because Switzerland knocks France out in a European competition.
They did. France isn't the side, though, since they've won the World Cup.
No, they haven't. And France are not being the same team what they were. Look at the players they've been missing. Karim Benzema, and Nkunku, Pogba, the AC Milan goalkeeper, Kimpembe. They're missing loads of players. Kante as well, that's 6. That's a spine in your team. But Brazil versus Switzerland, good game to watch, I guess. Brazil, I think they met them before, can't remember. But Brazil, they're favourites to win the game, and I expect Brazil to qualify with 9 points. I've gone with them to win the World Cup. Then
I have too.
But how much I don't want Brazil to win it, but I think they're going to win it in my opinion, because it is about time that a South American team does win a major tournament. I'm going to go for Brazil to win 3-1.
3-1. I had the same scoreline as you again, 3-1. So
3-1.
I have, yeah. So we'll lock that in as well. Reese has gone for 4-1 for Brazil. I like Coffee's gone for 4-1 as well. Hey there, Liam. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. So we'll go on to Ravi's question here, regarding kind of the team Switzerland are. For me, I think Switzerland are more counter-attacking side. They're quite a defensive team. They're happy to hold they're one of them where they're happy to be 1-0 up and stay 1-0. But then as soon as the other team scores, they'll try and fight to get the next game. And I think that France game really spoke a lot of their personality.
100%, 100%.
Do you agree with that, Luca?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
Next game now, Serbia versus Switzerland. Surely at that point as well, it's gonna probably be a fight between second and third, and whoever wins this game is gonna be.
I can see Switzerland winning this game 2-1. I think it's going to be a very good battle, like you just touched on, Maisy, second or third, one trying to join Brazil in the knockout stages. But I think Switzerland are going to win 2-1. I think they've got more experience in the team. I think when you look at their attacks, Serbia have got the better strikers, but Switzerland have got a slightly better team. Where you've got an informed Granit Xhaka that's having a great season for Arsenal, and then you've got the experience of Shaqiri, Ricardo Rodriguez, Suma, the goalkeeper. You've got about 3 or 4 players that have played for the national team for quite a long time. They know how to win, and that's the thing. So I'm going to go for Switzerland to win 2-1.
I've gone for a 1-1 draw. I think both teams are going to fight for it, and I think it's going to be to the point where neither of the teams can find the 3 points. Because I think Switzerland are very counter-attacking, and they'll be happy to stay at the 1-1 as long as they win the following game. The following game that's their last game. So they'll be, as long as they win, of course, against Cameroon and they win against Brazil, I think they'd be happy to. Well, I know that's not going to happen, but they'll be happy to play counter-attacking football and be 1-1 draw.
Yeah, 100%. Because for me, look, Serbia and Switzerland are going to play. One of these teams could qualify way before this game, right? Switzerland are more likely that look, okay, they're going to lose to Brazil, right? But I expect them to beat Cameroon. If they need one of these teams, may have to win as well. You never know. You never know. Serbia might or Switzerland might get a result. They might qualify with 5 points or so. So neither of these 2 teams who are going to be confirmed second. Look, okay, they might not be confirmed second, but one of those teams may have to get the 3 points to join Brazil.
Here's a question more for you to answer. Where is Granit Xhaka's best position?
Ravi. Granit Xhaka's best position this season has been in his midfield position, in more of like the defensive, you know what I mean? Like more box to box. Granit Xhaka has played in a new position. And what I like about that is that he's managed to develop. He's managed to go into a new position. The current position that has not been worked. We've slagged Granit Xhaka off over the years and that in the past. But this season here, Arteta has managed to put him in a decent position alongside Thomas Partey, which has allowed the likes of Martin Odegaard and Partey to have their own freedom, be able to pull the strings together in the midfield, which allows Granit Xhaka to sit, get him going forward. Xhaka has been fantastic this season. And I'm liking what he's doing for Arsenal, and I hope he can continue that on a regular basis.
Melina said his best position is with her. That is probably something I'd say about Mason Mount, to be fair. So,
Mason Mount.
Got a little bit hot here.
Mason Mount, in my opinion, he's not been that great this season, to be honest. But I still think he's a good player, right? Why are people slagging Mason Mount off, right? Mason Mount, right, brings a lot of creativity in the midfield. He's a good player, right? He's a good squad player, right? If I was an Arsenal fan, would I take Mason Mount? Well, we probably don't need a position like that, but yeah, I would take him because he's got squad depth, right? So he's got squad depth. He's got that finesse. he will bring that kind of like midfield into the team. Would Manchester United fans take Mason Mount? Go and ask Manchester United fans that. Yeah.
Right, you know what? Right, Mason Mount was actually linked to Man United in the summer.
It was. It was.
Yeah, I would have actually took him,
I
but
take him as well, but only for squad depth, not as a first teamer starter, because we've got midfielders in there like Martin Odegaard. We've got Smith Rowe that's coming back from injury, right after the World Cup, hopefully, or Christmas time. We've got Fabio Vieira in there, of course.
Mason Mount is already different opinions in the chat, so let's move away from him.
I don't want to get into a rant. This is not my channel.
It's already different opinions.
You want me to do a rant?
You have that many opinions.
People.
I caused some controversy.
Yeah.
The last game now, Cameroon versus Brazil.
Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Brazil are going to win this game comfortably. I'm going 4-0 Brazil. If anyone thinks I'm cussing Cameroon, then sorry, I'm going with my opinion. I'm going for Brazil to win this. They're going to smash Cameroon. 4-0.
I've gone for 3-0 as well for Brazil. I think
a bit of a realistic score. 3-0 is not a bad shout.
I think, to be honest, though, when it does come to it, they'll probably put out a weaker squad.
Of course.
Because they've probably already qualified at that point.
Yeah, they have.
Reese has gone for 3-0 for Brazil. I like Coffee's gone for Brazil for 6-0 as well. Marlena said Neymar is very good looking. Oh, we'll have to talk about good looking football players, me and you, Miss Marlena.
Varane.
Varane's not a bad looking guy as well. So let's do it. Yeah, so I've got 3-0 for Brazil. And table predictions. I think this is going to be easier. I've got for Brazil first.
Yeah, I think Brazil will win the group very comfortably, 9 points.
Who's your second placer?
Switzerland with 7 points.
It's where me and you differ. I've gone for Serbia for second place, based off goal difference.
Really? Is it just because you actually think they've got better attack then?
Well, I think the thing is, counter-attacking football will not always work. It's not going to work. I don't think it will always work.
Counter-attack doesn't hardly work. You'd be very lucky.
Exactly. So, have you gone for Serbia third then, I'm guessing?
Serbia third, Cameroon last. Sorry, Cameroon
Okay.
fans. You're going out of the World Cup.
Yeah, I've gone for Switzerland third, based off goal difference, and Cameroon fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that table prediction is all done. I Like Coffee says Nick Pope looks good. Wow.
Fair enough. Nick Pope.
Very true. Brazil tops the group with second, went on goal difference. Serbia second, Switzerland third, and Cameroon fourth. Alicia Lennon is goal for Villa. Have you not seen her boyfriend Douglas Luiz? He's a sort. He is a sort and a half. And you know what I mean? I like Coffee now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, Alicia. Yeah. That reminds me. I like Coffee. I'll have to go to Villa Park.
Alicia Lehman, related to Jens Lehman.
Well, I'll have to go to Villa Park. So, and I'll have to have a reunion with Douglas Luiz. But
don't get me started with Douglas Luiz. I don't rate the guy.
Why do you not rate him?
Because he's not all that. You know what I mean? Like he's not the answer in our midfield. He's pretty much he gets a lot of injuries now and then. On the odd occasion, he's like I don't think he's not all that. I think he. What does he bring? Wow, he's very good at corners. What is he? Corner FC player.
What's wrong with him?
I don't rate him, man. I don't think he's not all that.
Yeah, he is missing from the Brazil squad. That's tight. Very, very tight indeed. So we'll do our guaranteed goal scorer for the group.
Neymar. 100%.
Neymar.
Well, we could say Anthony. If Anthony starts putting his performance in properly, then yeah. Neymar.
Okay, I've gone for Mitrovic.
It's not a bad shout. I think he'll be up there.
Mitrovic, I've gone for as well. So yeah, yeah, that's our 2 guaranteed goal scorers. And we'll wrap it up here. Thank you, Luca, for coming on. It's been a great show.
No worries, all the time. If people ever need help with their collabs, like Maisy and other people, just drop me a DM. It's pretty simple. You know my socials. Follow me on YouTube, Luca AFC. Yes, what's coming up on the channel? Yes, we're going to be doing some World Cup watch-alongs some point this week. It's probably not going to be every single game, but it's going to be some games which you guys can actually bring. And actually, if you guys are interested in coming on the channel, like Maisy or anyone else want to join on my watch-along, just drop me a DM on Twitter and drop me a DM on Instagram. Follow my YouTube channel, Luca AFC. We are 8 subscribers away from 2.5K. So if you guys haven't gone and subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Just subscribe to the channel. It's free to click. And thank you very much for letting me come in on, Maisy, and it's been a great show.
It's been always a pleasure to have you on the channel, Luca. And
no worries, man.
I've put your link in the description below, so if you haven't already, go and subscribe to Luca AFC.
Yeah.
So I will be next live tomorrow. I'm with Andy and Chloe. If you didn't watch Man United women versus Arsenal women, Luca's getting embarrassed now. Manchester United.
Just because the Man United men and ladies beat us, wait until there's revenge at the Emirates. The Emirates is a different game. We'll slap Manchester United in January, so it's all right.
Well, we've done a very good comeback, so we'll be doing a match reaction to the game because we thought we've got to talk about it. It was one of our best wins we've had as the ladies team, and Luca will be back onto the channel on Wednesday. We'll be doing the last group H. Oh, and that reminds me, that group has got my husband in it called Valverde.
We will talk about that Wednesday. Turn your notifications on Maisy's channel. Please do that. And we're going to talk about Valverde, and we're going to get my opinions on the player. So you'll find out Wednesday what I'm going to say about it.
No slander on Valverde.
You have to wait until Wednesday and see what my opinion is.
No slander on Valverde.
You wait until my opinion comes on Wednesday. You see what happens. Wednesday's only 2.5 days away.
Only Valverde loving here. Thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you as well for Melina. Thank you to I Like Coffee. And Andrew happy regarding Russo scoring the winner for
Andrew, you go and enjoy your candy tonight, mate. It might actually help you, mate.
What did you say?
Might actually go and enjoy your candy tonight, yeah? I'm just messing about. Don't worry, man. Big up Andrew.
I thank you as well, Reese. I love you loads too. Thank you very much. And look, all about Valverde love, apart from Ravi. No Valverde hate here.
I'm not saying anything on until giving my opinion on it. It might be good. It might be bad. It might be good. It's more likely to be good, but we'll see what happens.
I hope it's good. Don't call him bang average though. But thank you so much, Luca. We'll see you Wednesday, and we'll see you all tomorrow, 7:00 for the match reaction.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course you can.
Are you going to be doing do you need me on the channel for like the knockout stages?
Yeah, knockout stages. Yeah. So once the knockout, I don't even know when.
Beginning of
I
December.
think the groups are on for a few
Beginning
weeks.
Beginning of December. I think it's just because the group stage.
Nah, because the group stages are still on my birthday.
Fair enough.
So let me see when the knockouts are, because
December the 3rd, isn't it?
Knockout stage, yeah, December the 3rd.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get together on the 1st of December.
No worries.
To get it sorted.
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. Yeah, 1st of December. We'll get everything all arranged anyway. So, thank you so much, Luca, for coming on.
Anytime, and anytime, much appreciated. If anyone needs help with collabing, just drop me a DM. Martin in the AFC1. It's pretty simple. Thank you very much for having me on.
And take care, everyone. Bye bye.
And it's bye for now.